Hello and welcome to Fashion Report Friday, the weekly video series trying to get you the most MGP humanly possible from the Mandeville Gold Source's Fashion Report minigame every Friday when judging begins. This is week 254, and despite me looking slightly like a deformed version of Sonic the Hedgehog, the theme this time is Knights of a Feather. The individual clues for items include a knight for helms for our helm, in sheep's clothing for our body, pirates in the sky for our hands, and short boots for our feet slot. In this video, we'll have a 100 score, an 80 with dies, and the easiest 80 possible. So without further ado, let's get to that 100. Alrighty, as you can see, for 100 score, I went for this setup, which looks awful. For the helm, then, I went for the titanium helm offending. You get yourself a titanium helm offending, then, for 24,272 gil. Come to Norlays, an NPC in the Pillars of Ishgard over in the Jeweled Grosier from that teleport. And if you choose Disciple of War and then level 56, you'll find right at the top the Titanium Helm of Fending. Specifically, this one will work for your 100 score. And alternatively to this particular helm, you can go for the Helm of the Divine War, which is also a tank helm acquired from the Tamtara Deepcroft on hard mode or the Stone Vigil on hard mode. Both of those helms will work, but sadly there are no other alternatives that we found yet. For the chest piece then, I went for the werewolf body. This was obviously from 2017, if I remember correctly, All Saints Wake. You can get this on the Mog Station cash shop, obviously. Alternatives to this, though, that do work include the Moogle body, which is also on the cash shop. But then we have stuff like the Beast Tribe rewards. So we've got the Oyori of the Blue, which is obviously from the Kojin. We've got the Vath Thorax will work, the Nath Thorax, the Zundu body, and the Vanu Vanu body should work as well. All of those should give you gold. I just use this because this is obviously equipable by everybody in the game level 1 and above, and it's something I already had. But yeah, choose whatever you've got access to. For the gloves then, I went for the Tantalus gloves, same reason as the chest piece, simply because it's low level and equipable by everybody and should be accessible for most people. This was originally a 150-day veteran reward. Alternatives to this, if you don't have the Tantalus cuffs from the Tantalus set, include the Sky Pirates gloves. So we've got the Sky Pirates gauntlets and gloves. Any of those will work. There is a huge list of Sky Pirates gloves that will work, but if you just simply search for those, you should be fine. But of course, if you want to, you can go for the Tantalus gloves instead. And finally, for the boots, I went for the Scion Adventurer's boots. Again, accessible by everybody in the game level 1 and above. Only this came from an MSQ quest, if we remember, the Greater Obeisance. And of course, if you've misplaced this and you've done that quest before, you can go to the Calamity Salvager in any major starting city, like, for example, the Aft Castle, on the upper Limbs Elementa decks. There's a Calamity Salvager there that will sell you that for 100 gil. Alternatively to the Scion Adventurer boots, stuff like the High House half boots, the Archaeo skin half boots, and I believe the Shire Pancratias boots will work as well. But of course, choose whichever you have access to. And that's the 100 score. Not particularly good. There are some good things if you already have them, but locking the helm into tanks was an interesting decision this week. So let's move on to an 80 with dies. Hopefully that's better. And if you were thinking that the 100 score wasn't very good, well, take a look at these dies. We have 4 jet black dies on this die options this week for our best in slot dies to get 80. This includes weapon, helm, gloves, and feet, all jet black die. Then we have Ochu green, which is the only decent die, which is on our chest piece. And then we have turquoise blue for any legs in the game, which are 100 Sky Builder scripts, or of course you can get those on your Island Sanctuary. I would give this one a pass unless you have those dies already equipped to something. But yeah, wow, what a expensive die option this week. Let's move on to the easiest 80 possible, shall we? Alright, so the only saving grace when it comes to jet black dye being used so much is that when it comes to the easiest 80, we only have to consider that the lesser version of the same color will work. So as you can see here, for the easy 80, what we've done is we've combined any three items in the game, and we've dyed any helm in the game soot black dye, any chest in the game we've dyed that Ochu green, which is obviously vendor purchased, crafted, that sort of thing. And then we've also got another soot black dye on any gloves in the game, and we've combined all three of those items with the Cyan Adventurer boots, which most people should have access to if they've done their MSQ. This seems to be one of the simplest options I can personally think of. Another way you could do this is obviously mixing and matching other items from the 100 score. For example, if you had the Cyan Adventurer boots and the Tantalus cuffs, you could just go with those two items instead. The three dyes here just make up the extra points needed. That's how Fashion Report works. You can mix and match to your heart's content as long as you get above 80 or 80 as a base, then you're getting the minimum MGP, the maximum you can get MGP wise for the minimum score for the week. So anyway, hopefully this was helpful. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm a little bit shattered from watching the Game Awards last night till 4 a.m. my time, and also taking care of other things IRL, as some of you might know. So I'm going to see you all later. Bye-bye.